Okay, what is up you guys? So today I'm going to be demonstrating how to do a seated hamstring curl. These are one of my favorites. And then also at the end of this video, I'm also going to include a variation that you can do if this machine is taken or just not available at your gym. So first we want to start off by making sure the seat is positioned to where we can really get the back of the ankle on this pad here. We don't want to be like pushing this down with our heels per se. Okay, so first things first, make sure our core is tucked and braced. This is really important because within any movement that you are doing, we want to make sure that that spine is compressed and stable in order to properly execute the movement. Okay, so now we're going to come all the way. Feel those hamstrings tighten. Make sure this movement is super slow and controlled. Notice how my back is not off of the pad. Now we don't want to come here because that's really doing nothing. We're not really engaging those hamstrings. We want to come all the way, basically letting those calves touch this pad that we're sitting on. All right, you guys, so now that we've done the seated hamstring curl, we're going to start with some variations to do if that is taken. So the first variation that you can do is a cable attachment. So when you're performing this movement, we want to make sure that, again, core is braced, but more importantly, that our pelvic area is touching that floor. Now, when you're doing this, you want to choose a weight to where you can continuously keep that tension on those hamstrings. What we don't want is our hip to start to elevate and come up because, again, that's putting a lot of pressure, a lot of unneeded pressure on that lower back, and we really don't want that. Our target right here is our hamstrings, so let's focus on that. You want to be far out from the cable attachment to where you're not hitting the attachment or the weight's not being set down. All right, so the next variation that we could do is a hamstring curl using a yoga ball. This can be either a variation or something you do to just activate those and awaken those hamstrings before starting a leg day. So first we're going to place the yoga ball a good distance to where our feet and our legs, are kind of created an L shape here. Again, core is tucked and braced, and above all else, we're making sure that that pelvic area is straight, hips are good. Now we're going to come slightly up. And then we're basically gonna do like a hip thrust up. This also helps a lot with core stability as well. So control that on the way out. Boom. Once you're there, you're gonna come back in, curling that with your hamstrings. You see how everything is just kind of straight and in a line. I've definitely felt my hamstrings here. They're gonna come back out. Now a variation you can do if you can't hold yourself in this upright position is just come down and then back. All right, you guys, so for this next variation, we're gonna do a lying hamstring curl with a dumbbell. Again, this is for if you don't have access to the lying hamstring machine or the seated hamstring machine, or those two previous options were not available. This is another one that you can do if you find an open bench with a dumbbell. So when you're setting these up, you want to make sure that your knees are slightly off the bench here. That way you can actually get that flexion. All right, again, we want to make sure that those hips are down on that pad. Just really focusing on those hamstrings engaging and bringing it up. Now we're not going all the way down or trying to get that dumbbell to touch the floor, because then that'll take those hamstrings out of that active range of motion. So that is all for those demonstrations on those variations and how to do a seated hamstring curl as well. Please let me know if you have any questions, and hope this helps.